I will introduce everybody and then we'll get this thing kicked off. But first, welcome. Appreciate you guys joining us. You're going to get a lot of info, both from the Alliance perspective, as well as the Heart of America Fastpitch League, the HFL. I'm Jamie Low-Price. I'm a CEO of the Alliance. We've got David McCorkle from the Alliance, who oversees our league operations. We have Shannon Harvey from the Alliance, who oversees a lot of our administration. You probably talk to her quite a bit if you have questions. And then Ryan Taylor, who wears both an Alliance and a HFL hat, is the commissioner of the HFL. Cornelius Davis is the league administrator for the HFL. We also have some special guests on here. Andrew Biele, the CEO of Athletes Go Live, will join us and talk specifically about AGL and how that all works with the Alliance. And then we have a team from Chattanooga that is going to talk about one of our Open Nationals events as well. Okay. So just to give you an overview of what we're going to cover today, I'm going to kick it off and talk a little bit about the Alliance, our backstory, our history, who we are, and how specifically that benefits you, as whether you're coaches, your parents, your athletes, how it all works together with our leagues. And then Ryan and Cornelius are going to talk specifically about the HFL. And then actually Andrew's going to talk Athletes Go Live, how it all ties in. And then we're going to close it out with some of our national events, our national championships, our Super Cup, and some other fun things that we have going on. So just a little backstory. This group right here is a lot of the people who helped start this, but it's way bigger than that. The Alliance started officially in 2020. It actually started right in the middle of the pandemic. And the vision was, hey, how do we put our athlete back at the forefront? How do we all start working together? Because for any of you who've been in the sport for a long time, we didn't all work together really well. And so that was the vision, because at the end of the day, if we want to grow our sport, we want to help our athletes. It'll be a lot better if we do it together and we put our resources together. So I'm going to show you this slide that it's a lot of logos. But to me, this paints the picture of who the Alliance is. A lot of you are familiar with showing up to a tournament. You go play, you drive home on Sunday, and that's it. Then you go to the next tournament. Well, the Alliance is really built by the teams and by the organization. And everything is done. We're all working together for these guys in the middle, for our athletes, and putting that athlete at the forefront and giving a different experience. So really what the Alliance has done is taking these individual teams, whether you're a singular team or whether you're a big organization, like some of the logos that you see, instead of earning things in a boardroom where you get, an invite based on your name, or you get to play on a field because of your name, this is really about earning it on the field, as well as the connectivity off the field that we provide. So everything that we do, the center point, the focus, our decisions are really made about the athlete here. So you'll see organizations from 1 team to 2 team to 100 teams that are national organizations, but it's all about performance as well as connectivity. So these are our core values. Just a couple of things to point out here, and you're going to see a lot of this. This is what the Alliance membership is really all about. It's about that experience of the player. It's about her development, her pathway, her journey throughout her travel ball career, as well as the coach. You're going to see a lot of coaches. When I talk about the registration, both the athlete and the coaches become members of the Alliance. And it's this lifelong relationship that we're trying to create between the players, between the teams. You can go compete on the field. We're all competitors, but we're going to work together off the field and try to make the sport a lot better. So the way that we're doing it on the field and the way that we've organized the Alliance is through our member leagues. So we started off with 6 member leagues in this past season. In August, we launched with 8 member leagues with the addition of the Northwest Fastpitch League and the Atlantic Coast Fastpitch League. So you can tell, obviously very regionalized. The idea was less travel, putting a point system and meaningful games so that you're not having to travel all over the country. You can play competitively in your own backyard while also still earning an opportunity to play for the national championship. So these are 8 leagues, but we're going to talk specifically more about obviously the HFL. So we're going to talk a bit about this again, but the way that it works here is coaches if you're interested in joining the Alliance, it starts with the coach right now. You register for the Alliance, you create your team registers for the HFL. At that point, once you become a member of the Alliance and your team is a member of the HFL, then the coach is going to invite athletes and invite coaches to join the Alliance. So anybody that's on your roster, the coach will actually go on our site and sends invites to the athletes. I know we get a lot of questions and we can dive a little bit deeper into that, but the athletes and the coaches are registering for the Alliance, and think of really the Alliance as a membership. It's way more than tournaments. At checkout, once you register for the Alliance, you are actually a USA Softball registered athlete or coach at that point. So it includes everything that comes along with USA Softball registration. Coaches will go through a background check, your safe sport, your insurance is included, but it's way bigger than that as well. Access, when I think memberships, I think access, networks, discounts, and that's the idea with our partners that we've assembled here. So just a quick glimpse of kind of some of the partners and sponsors that we work with, and I'll go a little bit deeper. So in an athlete membership that you're paying for annually with the Alliance, think about an athlete of what do you sign up for when you sign up for your team or for your clubs? Recruiting tips. NCSA has been a huge partner of ours. We partnered with High Level Throwing. In fact, right here, you can see a National Throwing Day that we did, a Throw Like a Girl campaign. Some of those bases, we partnered with the Famer app. Every week, Alliance coaches, Alliance athletes are getting weekly workouts put together by some of the top trainers, top coaches, top athletes that we have. And again, there was this idea and this vision of working together, putting our resources together. We partnered with College Bound Jocks for a discount. It's an exclusive discount. You only get it if you're an Alliance member on recruiting videos. And the bottom right here is Visual Edge. Visual Edge is a company. Obviously, you gotta see the ball to hit the ball. So every member of the Alliance gets a free baseline test. And then if you'd like to move forward and do any other training, you get a discount with that. And that's really how the Alliance membership works, is we're trying to give you access to the best resources in the game and give it to you at a price that's way cheaper. No longer do you just have to play on a big organization to get those discounts. And I'll talk about uniforms and different things, but you can play. That's the idea for us, is to level the playing field and give everybody access. And then here's just a glimpse from the coach standpoint as well. Again, partnering with NCSA and Team Edition and what we've been able to do there, and literally cut the prices in half for NCSA. We went out and found one of the best recruiting partners there is, and that's offered to all of our Alliance members. This is just an example of kind of how we put together a coaches week and activated all of our different partners, just trying to give coaches the resources that you need in your journey. And then sharing, it's a lot different, right? When you're coaching a 10U team and a 14U team versus coaching college athletes. So getting coaches who've actually been there, done that, and sharing experiences, sharing knowledges, sharing best practices. And this is an example of the Famer app that all of our coaches get and all of our athletes get as well with those weekly workouts. Again, just some fun activation, keeping it competitive off the field through our partnerships as well. Recognizing players, any opportunity that we can get. We actually did a tournament with Hit Tracks in the HFL were our winners for this one, but just a way that players get to train, they get to compete, they get to engage and learn off the field as well as on the field. And this was probably one of our biggest and most exciting partnerships, and not just for the Alliance, but to get Under Armour, a global brand, $1 billion brand, into the sport of fast pitch was really important. And I'll show a video here at the end when they sponsored our All-Star game and what they did for the female athlete. And they're making a huge push for female athletes, and now specifically softball. And I think, as a former athlete myself, I think that's huge. And we're excited as the Alliance to be able to open that door and get Under Armour into the sport of softball. They are our official apparel and footwear brand. They have the naming rights for our All-Star game, but they're also offering, if you're an Alliance member, you're going to get a really good Under Armour team discount as well. So if you're a team out there and you don't have a team sponsorship with any sort of apparel or footwear or team store, coaches gear, then that's what Under Armour provides all of our members as well. I'm going to talk quickly about team benefits. So all the athletes, all the coaches become members of the Alliance. Like I said, we're trying to walk with you on your journey through the sport, give you access. We're continuing. I'm on daily phone calls, vetting the best resources out there for athletes and coaches and trying to bring them to you guys. From a team level, when your team joins the HFL, so we get that question, why should I join a league? What if I'm not one of the best teams that's in my area? I don't have a chance for nationals. There's still so many benefits that your team is going to get in helping them in their pathway as well through travel ball. So tournaments, we opened our arms right away and said, hey, we're not running tournaments. We want to partner with the best out there. And we want to make sure that we're partnering with great tournaments and great event hosts to make sure our girls have a great opportunity. So you're going to be recognized through our point system, which is through Athletes Go Live. And we'll talk a little bit about that. Stats, standings, leaderboard. We have a really fun player recognition program that Ryan will touch on as well, and honoring our athletes, but giving your athletes wherever you're at. If you're in Minnesota, if you're in Iowa, if you're in Arkansas, hey, putting you, where do you stack up against teams in your area? And then what does that look like across the board? And giving your girls every single opportunity that any team across the country, whether they're from Southern California or Illinois, wherever they're from, your girls are going to have an opportunity to compete and to earn their way. So with that, from a team level, I'm going to pass it over to Ryan and talk specifically about the HFL.
Yeah, thanks, Jamie. Just to kind of reiterate about what Jamie said, the thing that's been so exciting for me is, have the opportunity to coach a team and help out with an organization. But the thing that's been exciting about being involved in the HFL and the Alliance is how to truly grow the sport, not just in one sector, right? It's about truly impacting not just our region, but the entire country, and kind of the partnerships that have gone from that. Jamie and team has done a phenomenal job to her point of going out and gaining real sponsors that are going to change how this game moves forward. And that's something that we've been missing, and that's been exciting. We've got great playing partners with USA Softball. I know in our area, we work with USA Softball a lot, and they're an excellent partner, USSSA and Triple Crown. So, as Cornelius gets into the leagues and whatnot, or as far as the tournaments, and you'll see a wide range of independent companies, and then obviously the big sanctioning bodies that run tournaments. And the more the merrier, right? We want to partner with people. We want to create opportunities. And that's our goal, is really to connect that circle of softball and work together. Jim, you can go into the next one, but just a little bit about the player recognition. Pretty exciting. If you look off here to the right, National Players of the Month. So the HFL had 2 players this fall that were National Players of the Month. So if you look at overall stats, those players are the ones that were honored above all the other leagues. So that's really exciting for our region. And then just kind of a highlight of some other players of the month that we had throughout the fall. And then our overall fall player spotlight. So the 2 on the left were the ones that were recognized for being the kind of the highlight players. If you look at their stats throughout the fall, the one thing that I really like about our player recognition program is it's not about, you see their jerseys on the front. It's not about that, right? It's truly about what those players earned. It's not what I think by sending an email and sending player stats in, or what some other coach thinks. It's truly about what these girls earned and where they stack up against each other. And I think that's an exciting thing. And I think it's something that's rare in our sport. And we hope to continue to grow this program. These players are going to get things in the mail as far as some cool little swag items, whether it be keychains, pop sockets, T-shirts from Under Armour, just different things like that. But to truly recognize and show that their hard work is paying off. I think a lot of the times in travel ball, and I think players like high school, because they do get their name in the paper, they get that recognition. It's something that we haven't done well in the sport is recognize our player that are truly the best. And so this player recognition program that Jamie's put together and through our All-American team continues to grow, and our sponsors have really bought in on it with us, and it's really exciting.
I'm going to give a quick plug really quick, Ryan, but this is why it's so important. One, to be a member of the Alliance, but also to score your games with Athletes Go Live, because Athletes Go Live has been a great partner in the ability to take the scores and the stats from all these games. Otherwise, there's no possible way to do that, right? So this is what's been great too about that partnership, is our ability to recognize these individual players.
Yeah. And I think, sometimes we get the questions of, well, why are you mandating AGL? Well, AGL has been a phenomenal partner, and they're in the sport, right? They started in the sport. It was actually started by coaches within the sport, and they care a lot about softball. They're involved with a lot of other sports, volleyball, basketball, baseball, but they are truly invested in softball, and their willingness to Jamie's point, to create APIs and things like this that push into our website is unmatched. Like, we've went to every company, and they're the ones that care and want to invest in it because they see the value. And so, I know we get that question a lot, and they truly are an important partner and care about what the athletes are doing. On the next slide, we're going to just kind of go over the schedule. We get a lot of questions on that. Cornelius manages this very well for us, but our league website and the overall Alliance website is a really important tool. There's a lot of good information on there. And I'll let Cornelius kind of talk a little bit more about the schedule, the process that you can go through to get your events on there and approved.
Okay, I just sent out a link to everyone to you can visit it. It just goes through some of the requirements or whatever to host a tournament. Basically, the procedure is to submit your tournament, let the board review, and go through and make sure that you meet your requirements and it's approved. It won't just be overnight, so give it about a week and a half for review, and again, we'll get back to you. We will respond when you submit it, shortly after you submit it, and let you know we're working on it. And then we'll let you know when after it's been approved. Not too many that have not been approved. So again, we're open to working with everyone. Again, private companies, the big sanctioned, and just you guys. We're not a sanctioned body. We don't control any of the tournaments that go on. We're just really including those guys, or they include us for you guys to get your points through that tournament. So a lot of questions I asked about what the rules are. Well, the rules are based off of what the tournament is. Again, U-Trip, Triple Crown, USA. You can find the rules there. So and as far as like how to read this, the website, the register link to the far right, when you want to register for a tournament, again, it takes you to that tournament or sanction to register. So if it's a private individual company, you may get Turning Machine. If it's a U-Trip tournament, you'll get to that site. So again, the whole deal is about including everyone or all sanctions. So it's beneficial to all. But again, that link that I put in the chat, you should be able to submit your tournament there. And again, we'll get to you shortly.
I know we kind of just hovered over the register your team. So I know Jamie touched on it briefly when you register your team, but we've had a lot of questions. So we'll have people go on and register as coaches, but they're not registering their individual players. Cornelius, if you could kind of just walk through that process a little bit and what it looks like and what needs to be done to make sure that you're completely in compliance to play in a national championship.
Yeah, so Jamie hit on it earlier. The coaches are able to log in and create an account. Now, right off the bat, they're not required to make a payment. They're able to get in, set up their team, and send out invitations. But last year we had admin that were able to do that and not have to pay a fee. Well, this year we're allowing the coach to get in. But again, we do check it. So at the end of the process, you want to make sure as a coach that you make sure you pay your fee, because again, you don't want to be rolling into nationals not knowing that needs to be done. Once that coach is registered, he can create his team. once the team has been created. And this all can be done like within 15, 20 minutes. Once that team is created, he can get a list of his emails for his parents, and he can send invites to the parents. Once the parent get the invite, they want to register themselves first. And then after they register themselves, which is free for the parents, they are then able to register their player and get their player's insurance. That's going to be a small fee. So you want to make sure all players are registered. Again, the rosters are online as of right now when players are registered. You want to make sure that your coaches are registered. That way, again, you're ready when you're stepping on the field and going into nationals.
Yeah, that coach registration obviously completes your USA softball registration and your background check as well. And Jamie, can you talk a little bit about the Famer app? I know once players are registered and members, they're able to download the Famer app. And so I think it'd just be important because we've got some players on this call to allow them to know what they can use that for.
Yeah, Famer is actually a separate app that you will download. So when you become a member, we send you a message that basically gives you all the details, everything that you're getting. And we know it's a lot. So hopefully you get that email. You can also go to our site too. And we have all of our partners and it spells it out and will take you to that specific member portal. So the Famer app in particular, and we've got it broken down 10U, 12U, 14U, 16U, 18U for athletes. So that way you're getting age specific drills as well from professional players, former players, current coaches, and same thing for coaches, but it just requires you'll follow the link, you'll download the app, and you'll just input your number that you register with for the Alliance. And just to reiterate too, with Cornelius's point, we do require to play in any of our events, which are the Alliance National Championship, our Open National Championship, and our Super Cup, all individuals will have to be members of the Alliance. So there's still time to sign up. We want you to sign up, but it really is an annual membership and it's way bigger than just participating in events.
Jamie, you can go ahead and go on. Just here, we've got 3 or 4 slides. So we'll go over the 10s and 12s. This just shows the teams that have qualified for the AFCS. 10s and 12s will be hosted by USA Softball in Oklahoma City this year. And you can kind of see where these teams qualified. So 16s and 18s were at Hall of Fame Stadium last year in various complexes. What we actually do is we rotate each year. So you basically go from, if you start in the West, you go Central, East, and then back to the West. And so this year, our host for 18s and 16s will be in Indianapolis at Grand Park, which is a really neat complex. It's all turf fields. It's all one spot, really conducive to college coach recruiting. And then the 14s that were in Florida last year will actually head out to the West Coast, which is being managed by Triple Crown Sports. So again, I just wanted to put a slide together with all the teams that have qualified. If you go to the Alliance website, you can actually get all these teams so you can see who has qualified from the HFL, where they qualified. If you had questions on that and kind of wanted to see the opportunities. The next slide that we've got is to cover our allotment of berths. So you can see kind of the breakdown at 14s through 18s, 16s obviously was a little over half, but the majority of it's, about half our berths went out in the fall. And that's something that we'll probably continue to do throughout the year. That way it allows teams to book travel and things like that. That was some of the feedback that we got last year, instead of having so many bursts in the summer, to try to move that to the fall. And so we tried to listen to that. Like Jamie said, I feel like we do a really good job of taking feedback, evaluating it, and doing what's best for the athlete and coaches. Next slide is our qualifiers. So this is our road to the AFCS. First one out this spring is going to be in Chickasha, Oklahoma, March 11th through 13th. And then the last one will be up in Chicago in New Lenox. So that's actually the Chicago metro area, June 23rd through the 26th. Really excited about the next slide. We've got a couple at-large bids, I guess you could say. So we filled our allotment of all of our bids this year through the HFL, and based on registration numbers, we were able to get at-large bids from the Alliance. We had some wild card berths available, and it was for this region to kind of look where there's additional registration, where we need representation from teams, and give opportunity. I mean, that's really what it comes down to is create opportunity for teams to keep it regionalized, and how do we make it the easiest on those individual teams. And so we're going to add a qualifier in Columbus, Ohio, this summer in June, and then in the Minneapolis metro area in June as well. So 10th through the 12th in Columbus, Ohio, the Ohio Hawks are going to run that event. And then S&C Sports are going to run the event in Minneapolis. So really excited about that. Like I said, not too many times do you see qualifiers come up mid-year, but this was, again, feedback from teams trying to create representation. And I think you'll hear that a lot anytime that you jump on a call is trying to create representation, not just from big organizations, but from all teams, and creating a level playing field that everybody has a shot. HFL Summer Championship. Last year we had it in July. This year, Gold Nationals and the JO Cup is in July. So to kind of work in partnership with USA Softball, we bumped our Summer Championship up to that June 11th through the 13th weekend. It's going to be a one league game, and you're seeded into that tournament based off of your body of work. So if you go and look at the HFL standings that are out right now, and the seedings, that's how you would be seeded. And then it goes into straight double elimination to earn your bid. At 18s, I believe we've got 3 bids, 16s 1, and then I believe 2 at 14 and under. So we're excited about that. That's going to be played again here in Kansas City, June 11th through the 13th, but it's an opportunity to qualify. Another reason that we wanted to move the event to June, a week out from the AFCS was difficult. I think us, the TFL, and several other leagues ran our championships, and trying to get teams registered, booked for the AFCS. That was just a lot of jumping through hoops, and it probably wasn't fair to our families. And so we really made a push to get everybody qualified by June 27th this year. That way teams can make plans. Andrew, you're up.
But we're very excited to have Andrew Biele, who's the CEO actually of Athletes Go Live. And Andrew himself is I don't know if you are this year, you have been a registered coach, has daughters that played the game, completely understands the game, has coached with the East Cobb Bullets organization out of Atlanta. So Andrew, we appreciate you being on here, and it's all yours.
Thank you very much. So I guess first and foremost, for me, I'm very passionate about what the Alliance is doing. I had 2 daughters that played fastpitch softball. My youngest daughter still plays at Duke University. She actually graduates this year. Softball is a passion for me. I've coached for 15 years in fastpitch softball. I consider a lot of the folks that are involved with the Alliance friends of mine. I think what they're doing is incredible for the sport. I think it's incredible for the athletes, and we're just grateful to be part of it. So I'm going to pull up my slides here. And, so a couple things I want to chat about with us, why AGL? We for some of you that have used us in the past, we've made some dramatic major improvements to our scoring module, usability, feature functionality. We feel like we have a pretty advanced team and player stat capability. One of the things we were able to do with the Alliance, which is somewhat unique, is we were able to build, I'll try to use not technical terminology, but we were able to integrate. So when you're scoring your game on AGL and you end that game, your scores and your stats are automatically being fed to the Alliance, and we're able to populate standing stats and points automated within the systems. So something that's never really been done in the sport. We spent quite a long time. They have an incredible IT department at the Alliance that we work with, that allowed us to kind of work together and build this. So the ability to have that automation on the scoring and stats is extremely important. I'm a big believer. I coach for a long time. So the person that does my scoring and, stuff for me, I've always wanted to take care of them. So we launched a program called the Official Scorekeeper program. And I'm actually going to skip some slides here. So I'm going to go to my Official Scorekeeper program. So basically every single team, we basically give whoever the official scorekeeper is, the person that's going to score and stream their games with Athletes Go Live, we give them a free annual subscription when Athletes Go Live. We also get them certified with us, and we give them, quite a few perks, including priority access to new features, new feature development, updates. We have a official scorekeeper call that we only allow official scorekeepers on to talk to our engineers and our product managers on feature functionality that they want added to the program. We also have an exclusive Facebook group that's just official scorekeepers. We also mail you a swag bag with a lanyard and ID, and we work with some of our event partners to allow you to get free access, no gate fees to walk in because you're an official scorekeeper. So we have the ability just to, and I'll make sure we get this out to you, Ryan, so you can get it out to the folks on the call, but it's very simple. Whoever the official scorekeeper of your team is, there'll be a link, you click, you submit it, and then you're contacted by our support folks, and we'll get you certified with Athletes Go Live as the official scorekeeper for your team, and make sure that we get you a free annual subscription and all the perks that come with it. Going back here, we do have, obviously, our product. It's free for the teams to score and stream. There's no cost to the team. Parents can purchase inexpensive monthly or annual subscriptions. We do have a promotion. We do have our own custom camera that we built specifically for softball and baseball. The advantage of our camera is that it has a operating temperature of 150 degrees, so it doesn't overheat. We did get it certified with Verizon and AT&T, so you can just add a basic $20 data plan on the device for streaming purposes. And it also has a wide angle lens to help you capture the entire field. We do have a promotion if you do a team subscription, which is a discount for your parents. We also give your team a free camera with that. So if you're interested in that, we'll make sure we get that information to Ryan as well. One of the cool things also for events that we do is we do event leaderboards. So any tournament that you're playing in that's an Athletes Go Live event or Alliance event, we have event leaderboard. So there's going to be a leaderboard saying who's leading the tournament in home runs, who's leading the tournament in RBIs. And it's going to have team stats and individual stat leaders and top 10 stat leaders. These are also the stats that are going to be used for all tournament teams, pitcher, player of the tournament. And obviously these are the same stats that the leagues are using for their player recognition. So super important. We did launch a new profile, college coach profile and athlete profile. I know NCSA is a big partner of the Alliance. We are actually finalizing some integration with NCSA to allow some direct integration between Athletes Go Live and NCSA, but I'll show you the athlete profile piece. But we now have a new feature, which is really cool. We allow fans and athletes can now submit their clips directly through the app, directly to the Alliance and directly to Athletes Go Live. So it's going to look very similar to this. As on the screen here, there's an Alliance logo and Athletes Go Live logo. If you click that, you're going to send that clip directly to the Alliance or directly to Athletes Go Live. This is going to allow us to do top plays of the tournament, top plays of the week, top plays of the month, top plays of the year. So it's kind of a really cool initiative that we have to allow athletes directly through the app. The athletes can submit clips and the fans. So parents, grandparents, you can also submit clips. We also have a share icon, so you can also post clips directly to social media, directly through the app as well. So all that's kind of inclusive with that. One thing I will mention is, our product for those of you right now that are about to go into high school ball, it's free for your high school team to use this as well. So if you get your high school team using it, all your high school games will load to the same profile. So you can pull clips, post clips to social media, and college coaches can watch. One of the most unique features that we have is that college coaches have free access to watch any game live, any game archived, and they can actually give them a ton of feature functionality. But the cool part for the athlete and the team is that they get notified every single time. The athlete gets notified and the coach of the team gets notified anytime a college coach watches your game. So it's a great opportunity. You can see there's something here. I got Hutch sitting in her hot tub watching watching games, which I think is, probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen posted to social media. But, college coaches, it's a really a great tool for college coaches to recruit. It's really helpful to me. I always thought that for the athletes, it's super important because college coaches can only go to so many parks, so many fields, right? So this opens up the ability for them to see you. And there's also a lot of college camp integration that we've built into this as well. Let's see here. These are the leaderboards, just to kind of show you the leaderboard piece here. So we have the leaderboard functionality built in. And then Ryan, I'll make sure I get you this here, but we have video tutorials as well as PDF and help guides on for the team, for the fan, for the athlete, for everything. So it's kind of all built in and inclusive with it. So, but like I said, we're super excited to have this partnership with the Alliance. Like I said, this is probably my most important relationship because I am passionate about Fastpitch softball, and I'm also passionate about what the Alliance is doing. I think they're doing incredible things for the sport. So I appreciate you guys allowing me to be on, and I'll pass it off back over to you, Jamie.
Appreciate that. And it really is, you guys, from our standpoint, just working with Athletes Go Live, something that Andrew didn't mention was they actually produced at the 16U and 18U national championships and helped us with our all-star game that was actually aired on ESPNU. And we did some fun things, and that was in 1 year. So I'm really excited about just how the partnership will continue to evolve, and the ability to pull stats from any game, any sanctioned event into one system is huge. And I think that's what sets us apart.
Jamie, we did have a question.
Yeah, I'm going in there right now. And
it was for you.
Yeah, so data package requirements. So it's definitely, we've obviously we streamed over almost 100,000 games in 2021. So we've had our fair share of experience on the streaming side. It's always better to stream over LTE than to stream over a hotspot. So that was one of the main reasons why our new version 2 camera that you just go get a 4G LTE plan with Verizon or AT&T. Now, you're not required to use our camera. You can stream with any Apple or Android device for free. So you can stream with any Apple or Android device for free. But if you want to use our camera, it's on our website for sale, or if you do the team subscription, we actually give you the camera for free. But I definitely recommend getting a Verizon or AT&T data plan if you're streaming from a device. It's just highly recommended. So, yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
And while she's changing the screen, coaches, I would definitely recommend getting a parent on that Scorekeeper, as obviously they get a little bit of ownership in something that is off the field, which is all good for coaches. And then also it gets it off your plate if they really take pride in it and doing what they need to do. So very important that you find that parent.
Yeah, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, for a parent to do all that. That's why we're giving them a free annual subscription, because we know, being responsible for scoring and streaming every single game. I know they're passionate about it because their kid probably plays on the team, but it's still a lot of work, and we want to reward those people that do that by making them an official scorekeeper.
Yeah, AGL has been with the sport since COVID started. When we started TFL, AGL was right there, and they've done nothing but grow and adjust and adapt, and been the only company that is willing to work with the sport for the kids and trying to continue to do what's best for the kids and provide everything they can for them. So a lot of props to them as we continue to grow as partners.
And just a couple ways, again, so we use AGL for our teams, for the point system, and for our leaderboards. And then from the players, we're using that. You'll see Michael, our social media manager, you'll see posts throughout the leagues, the Alliance, where we're doing statistical standouts or stat leaders, just trying to recognize as many kids as we can based on her performance. All tournament teams at the AFCS, we did all tournament teams for the Super Cup, and all that is based on your scoring. So I'll touch on this really quick, but we actually adopted the ELO, and you can read more about it on our website, ELO rating system that it's way smarter than I am, but it's an algorithm that's used across other sports. And actually all leagues adopting that and using one point system has been huge. So everybody's going to start at 1,600, and based on your level of competition, as well as your results, you're either going to move up or down. And so that's how you're going to see a lot of our rankings. And I want to give you guys an example here. Here's a HFL 14U team. Their league rank is 2nd and their national rank up here is 10. And so again, this is based on their game results. This team has been scoring with Athletes Go Live. You can see their strength of victory, their strength of schedule. If you get on here on the actual website, you can go back, you can look at all of their recent games as well. And then even their team roster, which does also connect to NCSA, by the way. So just a really fun new feature. We launched this in November. And I think this is kind of the vision of where we want to go. Here's your team stats. Here's how your team has performed in the year. This is going to help you, as Dave will talk about, with the national championship. But think long-term, this is where we're going with the individual athletes as well.
And one of the things that's neat about this, to build off what Jamie said, is it's for 10s and 12s too. I think a lot of times in our sport, the juniors kind of get pushed to the side. So you're not going to see this just for 14s, 16s, and 18s. You're going to see rankings for 10s and 12s nationally as well. For us at the HFL level, we still have a lot of opportunity for 10U teams to get wild card bursts for playing in qualifiers or just playing in events. That's something that we want to continue to offer resource to, is that junior division, and really grow it to help those athletes start in a good foundation and really give those coaches resources that they don't have access to. I know a lot of the times at 10s and 12s, it's just a parent that's willing to step up because nobody else will. They want resources, right? They want to support, they want to do the right thing. They want to put their players in the right position. And that's about what we're trying to do at the Alliance, is trying to connect those players as well. So again, just know that juniors division is really important to us as well.
And I'll add to that is, obviously you see all this record and all this, and none of this is possible without Athletes Go Live. They're the driving system of this, and teams need to make sure they score their games, but most importantly, select the code of the event they're playing in to score that game. And then obviously all the things correlate into the Alliance roster, as long as the roster is uploaded and all your players are members. And then it's just one big system that works together.
McCorkle, Ryan, if you guys want to take this question, if somebody has been, and we get this across a lot of leagues, and trust me, we understand this is new to everybody as well. And we're growing, we're listening. But we also allow a little bit more flexibility in certain situations too. So if we were registered this past fall and didn't get stats entered, is there a way to go back and enter them? And can you guys kind of explain why it's important to have a time window and to try to do those live?
Yeah. So first I'll just take how we will. We're going to try to do our best to help you to get those stats back on. Understand after this year, that's probably going to go away, just because there's a lot of manual labor that goes into that. So if you, Cornelius will put his email in the chat box. He's got a document that he can send out. There's some legwork that you're going to have to do to make sure that those stats go in there. And then also as far as just your scores, but I'll let Dave touch on the rest of it moving forward.
Yeah, the stats is going to be a really tough thing. The results obviously would be the first step. The stats, there's a lot more into that, and it's got to be all automated. And stats is really hard to manually. We can't accept stats manually from a team and trust that they're going to be all accurate. So the results, I can see where if you can find the results of events you played in that were HFL or your league events, and getting those results to Cornelius, you might be able to work something out. But again, the biggest thing people to understand is everybody's got a chance. If you were to join right now and go earn a berth, you could go play in the qualifier. If you didn't earn a berth, and now we have an open championship that you can go play in. So you could be a part of Alliance and Alliance National Championships regardless of where you're at. And obviously where we're going is the most important thing. So, just understand that even if they're not in there, no matter where you're ranked or what you're doing, you could go earn a berth and still prove yourself. So very important you understand that. This year, national championships. What's that?
So speaking of berths, we can head to,
Yeah, the one thing I would say, Jamie, because, I had this conversation with the team, in our East Cobb organization. I don't know. I mean, I think what you guys are doing is amazing, when it comes to giving teams the ability to play at the national championship level. And to really understand, I mean, obviously they have a tier 1 berth, they have a tier 2 berth, and then they have the open championship. So if you're part of the Alliance and you're playing in these qualifiers, if you don't qualify for a tier 1 berth and you don't qualify for the tier 2 berth, you still have the ability to play in that open national championship, which is, I think which is a really cool experience and a really cool way of putting it together for these teams. I think that's really awesome. So, and I don't think teams really, our teams in East Cobb didn't really understand it. So I think it's really unique and really cool what you guys are doing.
Well, it's actually even easier than that now. So there's actually not a tier 2. There's
Okay.
one event that is all one event. The best 96 teams, you just have to earn a berth through your league or through Alliance event to play in the AFCS, which is the Alliance Fastpitch Championship Series. There's not a tier 1 and tier 2 berths. It's all one berth. Everybody, the top 96 teams make it to that tournament. And then from once they get there, the 96 team starts to separate itself. The first round is the regional round, very similar to college softball, as you play in a 4-team bracket and you got to be one of the top 2 teams you play in a 4 to 16 bracket. You got to be one of the top 2 teams to make it to the tier 1 bracket, which is the tier 1 national championship. The 3rd and 4th place teams out of each regional bracket will play in the tier 2 championship bracket. And the 5th and 6th would go to tier 3. So after your regional round, no matter where you fall, you're going to fall in one of those 3 categories. And now your tournament starts over. Now you're amongst 32 teams and you've got a chance to win a championship, whether it's tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3. Tier 1 will be your top 32 teams. Tier 2 will be your next 32. And then tier 3 will be your the last group of 32. Each of those tiers will play the exact same format. You'll play in a 14. That first diagram there shows you a regional round. The top 2 going to the tier 1, 3rd and 4th to tier 2, and then 5th and 6th to tier 3. The second diagram is the super regional round, which has 4 teams played as a double elimination, winner take all, and moves to the Elite 8.
And I'm just going to add to that. When you see the seeding, just know that your points matter throughout the year because we actually have a seeding committee. So very similar. If you've ever watched the NCAA selection show, they announce those top 16 seeds, right? So based on your overall performance throughout the year, your points, your interleague play, your top finishes, we actually have a seeding committee that's just going to give oversight. It's very much based on objective, but just an oversight committee. It's led by Derek Allister from On Deck Softball. It's not coaches. It's a very neutral professional seeding committee. To give you reference, last year in 18s, of the top 16 seeds, 15 advanced, and the only one that didn't, a 17 beat a 17 beat a 16 to advance. So we definitely take it serious and try to model after the postseason as well.
Yeah,
the best pitcher in the tournament.
Yeah, and all the seeds are already set, so there's no draw, there's no anything. It'll all be seen where every single seed goes, and once the final rankings come out, they'll feed into the bracket accordingly. So there's no politics or no specific placing. It's all set. Once the final 8 happens in each tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 will be played at 8-team bracket, exactly like the College World Series. So, I mean, it is literally exactly like the College World Series. So all the athletes get a little bit of taste of what it's like to play in a bracket of that sort. And then the final 2 teams that went out of bracket A and bracket B will play in a best 2 out of 3 championship series on the final day. And so, kids are starting to have to learn how to beat somebody twice within a day or 2. They're learning how to make adjustments. Pitchers are going to learn how to pitch differently. Coaches got to learn how to make adjustment. And overall, last year, it was a huge hit for college coaches and for the competition level that the Alliance Championships brought. So we're excited to make those few changes. We listened and learned of a few adjustments that we could make to last year's tournament to make it a little bit better. We expanded a little bit to be 96 teams until where any team that makes that 96 has a chance to win it all, whether you're the 1 seed or the 6 seed. So we're excited about that. Any questions or anything on Alliance Championships? The 16s and 18s are in Indianapolis, we talked about earlier. 14s is in California and SoCal, and then the 10s and 12s are in Hall of Fame Stadium in Oklahoma City. And then obviously next year, everything will travel east. So
I just
excited
wanna-
about the 3-year rotation. Go ahead, Jamie.
I just want to throw out something, and I'm actually, I know this is Ryan's organization, but I actually put this picture on here because I love it. And even seeing the hats last year, we got Elite 8 hats for when teams advance from super regionals. For me, I was very fortunate as a player. I got to play in the Women's College World Series, but nothing prepares you to try to beat a team twice, like McCorkle was saying. And it's our job as youth coaches to prepare them for everything on and off the field. And I think this format, what we learned, and it was a lot of fun doing press conferences and interviews with the girls afterwards. And they talked about it. You know, here's a 15-year-old girl, a 16-year-old girl talking about what that was like to have to, you know, go to a super regional round, try to beat a team twice and fight your way. So I tell you, at the end of it, the best team is definitely standing and gets an opportunity, or everybody gets an opportunity. But it was a lot of fun to watch last year. And we did. We made sure that we made adjustments to make it an even better experience.
So excited. As long as you can find a berth and earn a berth, everything's earned. Nothing's set in the boardroom. Everything is set on the field. Everything is earned either by winning a certain event or by earning enough points to where you get a wild card through a league, that because you are the highest ranked team that does not have a berth, and there's a berth assigned for that. So excited about that in all 3, or I guess all 4 age groups, all 3 locations. For those that don't get the berth, last year there was a lot of hesitation and confusion between tier 1, tier 2. So that's now out. Don't have to worry about that confusion. There wasn't really any set things until late about for those that don't qualify. Well, now we've created the Alliance Fastpitch Open Nationals for all age groups in a great town of Chattanooga, which has phenomenal fields, a phenomenal host. Any team can play in as long as they're Alliance members, and obviously the roster rules would apply. You know, but that'd be a great place for a team that is a young team or still trying to earn their way to go there and do well and earn points and do that. There's one thing we haven't mentioned is at the end of the summer, everything starts over. The team that won the national championship has the same amount of points as the team that got last, starting the next year. So you have to start over, rebuild, and go out and do it again. So this Open Championships gives you the, you know, national championship feel with a great host and a very competitive atmosphere with a great format. I know we have Madison, some others here from the Chattanooga, and that's going to be helping host the Alliance Fastpitch Open National. So I'll let them have the floor.
Hey guys, so I'm Madison Crownover. I'm going to be the tournament director for the Open Nationals. Like David said, it is in Chattanooga, Tennessee. We are very excited to host this event for the Alliance, and we just wanted to take a moment and introduce ourselves and introduce the team that's going to be putting this event on. Our assistant tournament director is Tony Boyd. He has coached travel ball and has been involved with national championships, specifically in Chattanooga, for over 25 years. We also have Maddie Adams, who is our media and marketing director. She works closely with Michael, who does the media and marketing for the Alliance. And then we have Jen Carden, who is our communications director. She'll be your primary contact. And if you attend Open Nationals, you'll hear a lot from Jen. So I'm going to kick it to Tony for a moment and let him talk a little bit about his experience with the city of Chattanooga and its investment in the fast pitch softball world.
Thank you for hearing us tonight. I do just want to touch on something David said. I have been involved in fast pitch softball for over 25 years, but I also put in a 34-year career with the city of Chattanooga Public Works Department, who works hand in hand with the Parks and Rec Department. And I've watched them build through 4 or 5 mayors over my career. I watched them commit to youth sports, specifically fast pitch softball, and renovate some awesome softball complexes and spend in excess of $20 million on 2 complexes. So we're really excited to bring this thing to Chattanooga. We have some awesome facilities that this city and its administrations through 5 mayors have committed to. And we've put this team together to make this an event that you'll remember from a softball and a city perspective.
Maddie?
Hey guys, I'm Maddie Adams. I actually just moved to Chattanooga within the last year, and I really cannot say enough about this place. Being one of the top outdoor tourist destination cities in the country, Chattanooga has so much to offer, from mountains that have trails for hiking, biking, really anything you can think of, to the river where you can access anything on the water really easily. We have amazing restaurants downtown and across North Shore, and I've been really just felt like home at this place and love it so much. With that being said, I'll be handling all the marketing and media for the Open Nationals. So please share with me any ideas you have on the information your teams would like to see regarding this new event.
Jen?
Hello, I am Jen Carden. In addition to communications director for the Open Nationals, I'm also the Southeastern Fastpitch League director of operations. I have been on many calls with these amazing panelists, and I do have to say that working with Cornelius and Shannon have been excellent. So I'm very, very good coworkers with them. In the last couple years, I've worked closely with the Alliance since the very beginning. I'm super familiar with registration for the team or a coach or even the player registration. I'm also very handy with helping parents get their free account with the Alliance. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. In the chat area, I've listed some pertinent information that you guys are going to want to save. I will put that in here shortly, but it's going to consist of Madison's personal number. She's the tournament director, our customer service email, along with the tournament website and the tournament registration link. At any point, if you guys need assistance, please feel free to reach out to me. I really look forward to helping you guys and getting you guys answers, whatever you guys need.
So before we take a minute and get any questions that you guys have, I just want to touch on a couple little details. So on the screen here, you can see we're going to have a really cool opening ceremonies on the 26th to kick things off. And then our champions will be crowned on the 31st. We are going to be using the Summit of Softball Complex, Warner Park, which has a really cool stadium, kind of a college feel when you play in there, and then a newly renovated 12-field complex, Camp Jordan. All of these sites are within 20 miles of each other, and they're within 20 miles from the airport as well in Chattanooga. So you have the Chattanooga airport, and then we are a 2-hour drive away from Atlanta, Knoxville, and Nashville airports. So there's lots of options for either a direct flight into Chattanooga or flying into one of those three with just a 2-hour drive. So like I said, we are open to any questions. We would love to get feedback from you guys on what y'all want to hear, what you want to know, and all that contact information in the chat. Please use it.
That's great.
They got champions there, which is awesome.
We do. We have 2 now. There's 2 champions now.
I know. I've been to both.
So just a few things. I know some teams like to go ahead and plan, and they may not have a berth. Teams that do qualify, or sorry, aren't qualified now and plan on going to the Open Championships and happen to qualify, if they had paid, and that registration would move over to the AFCS. So it works hand in hand to make sure that we're doing what's best for the kids and the team. So we're excited about them and Chattanooga hosting the Open Championships.
Yeah, and after coaching for 25 years, I don't know of any organization that does that for teams like the Alliance is doing it for this Open Nationals.
That's great. But during Open Nationals, as well as the 16, 18, and 14U, there will be Alliance camps as well as on-deck camps that we're right now. We're building college coach staffs that'll be on the field working with the kids. So keep an eye out for the camps that will always be on day 0, which is the opening ceremony day, that we'll have for each one of those events in Chattanooga, in Indianapolis, and then in SoCal for the 14U. So we're excited to get those camps going. Super Cup is another Alliance national event. It's an event that was created to try to keep competitive games throughout the entire year. And it's played in 3 stages without going in deep detail and saving time. You have to qualify for stage 1 by your results at the national championship. So like for the example of this year, the top 32 teams that play in the tier 1 will earn an invite to the Super Cup. And then as well as every league will have X amount of teams that for sure get an invite. So, teams that finish the highest within our league and as well as finish high within the event will get an invite to play in a stage 1, which is done in the fall. The games that were done in stage 1 brought a new feeling to fall softball. It was incredible. And then just in January, which is usually not very much softball at all, there was an event played out west, the stage 2 west, and it was very intense and some great games that sent teams to stage 3. Stage 3 is the finals, and it's played in Colorado on the Tuesday leading up to the Colorado event. And then the Wednesday is a TV game for the final 2 teams from the Super Cup that play in a TV game. Our partner with this is Evo Shield, which has done a lot of things for us. We're partnered with them. They're supporting us. They're sponsoring us. They're doing so much for the kids, just as Under Armour is in other aspects. And I just don't think you're going to find anything else that, besides Alliance and Under Armour and Wilson, all our partners that are doing everything they can to help the kids out reach their dreams. So that's everything I have on the national championship events, as well as the Super Cup event. If you have any questions, you can always contact me at david@thealliancefastpitch.com, and I'll be glad to help any way I can.
I'm going to close it out with the All-Star game. And before I do that, the national championships, and I've had experience for 5 years. I was with USSSA and hosted our national championships. And then last year, everything that goes into it, we couldn't have done it without the USA softballs, USSSA's, and Triple Crown as well. And now adding the city of Chattanooga, who has a lot of experience in hosting national championships in all sports. And we know we'll roll out the red carpet for our teams. We're really excited. And the Super Cup, again, as Dave said, it's just finding different ways to keep these kids engaged and competitive and meaningful games. So this has all been accomplished in a year and a half. And this is probably the All-Star game might have been, it's hard, but it might have been one of my favorite nights that maybe in the sport, honestly. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a preview.
Man, my girl Shannon's 6 foot tall, and Montana makes her look like she's 6'4".
Hey,
If I can get
exam. I know it's hard, but you can do it. We're here to help. The biggest stage history.
Honestly, I'm a little excited.
I think it's going to be a really competitive game, and it's obviously a great opportunity to play it here at the biggest stage. I walked in, I was like, oh my gosh. It was pretty cool to go in and see the giant gear bag that we got and just everything that's in there. It was insane.
Really getting the game out there, so that's just exciting to be a part of.
The biggest stage in college softball. Welcome to USA Softball Hall of Fame Stadium.
What I'm most excited about is playing against girls from all over, playing against girls that are amazing.
I'm just excited to play with everyone and meet new people. I mean, like, have new friends, probably go to college, and that's so fun.
I know everyone's going to hit, everyone's going to play good defense, so it'll be exciting who comes out on top.
If you get a chance, I definitely encourage you to watch the full video there. If you, I think it's about 14 minutes, but it's definitely worth it.
I should watch the game. It was 10-9. That was a great game.
Let's see if I can share my screen here.
As she's trying to share screen, if y'all have any questions with registration, obviously Ryan and Cornelius and the HFL crew are always available. Shannon and I are always available to help in any way that you need with registration or questions has to do with any kind of tech or points or anything. If we don't know the answer, we'll get you the answer or to the people that can help you most. So, I mean, we're here to help y'all and your teams and your kids to try to, navigate through this sport.
One thing I wanted to give a shout out was to the umpires on this call. They're an important piece to our game. I think anybody that knows and runs events or plays in events know how much they mean to the game. We appreciate you guys being on, and we're actually working not just at a HFL level, but at Alliance level to help create a training program for umpires. So to really capture that entire ecosystem of softball. So umpires are an important piece. So we thank you guys for joining.
I couldn't agree more there. And just to recap this, we will have, that is just for seniors, our all-star game that we're named to this. We do have our initial watch list out. So you'll start to see more on that. First, we'll have league all-star teams, and then our second annual all-star team. So just another fun way to keep the girls. I wanted to give you guys a little bit of glimpse of what the future is. Obviously, we're a season and a half in to the Alliance. We know that the core of what we do is on the field and in competition, but it's way bigger than that. Like I said, when we started the Alliance, it was about a lot of the teams and the clubs and the organizations coming together to combine our resources, to level the playing field, and to really focus on the athlete. To do that, or when we do that, I think the sport's going to continue to grow. We want more girls playing. We want more girls staying in the game. Many people, even on this call, right? We've been fortunate enough to play the game ourselves or to coach the game and know what it has to offer. So we're really excited about continuing to grow, helping rec leagues, however we can help and support, whether it's coach development, player development. Last year, we had an opportunity through USA Softball to put a team together. And really, it was a lot of our board calling their former players who are in college, say, hey, do you want to come play? And even a couple of these players that are on this list that played for Team Alliance were just named to the USA national team, or at least got an invite to the tryout, which is huge. And so any opportunity we can to help our players, we are completely in. In the next few weeks, you will actually learn a lot more about Alpha, which is the Alliance of Fastpitch Athletes, which has been built by a lot of former athletes who want to give back. It'll be a nonprofit 501c3 status, was just approved. Really excited to roll that out, the programs that we have for athletes to give more access, more opportunity, and really to keep so many former players engaged in the game as well. If you see this logo, the White Rock Renegades, that team's actually, it's an organization out of Canada. If you guys remember the name Danielle Laurie, she actually played for them, but they're members of the Alliance. So we went international, which I think is really cool. And even the Canada Cup. And if you've never heard of the Canada Cup, it's a huge international tournament, both for the amateur, and I know a lot of the national teams play in it. But just to me, it's exciting to see the growth, not just here domestically, but internationally. And we're happy to be a small part of it. So a lot of things are going on. For all you guys who are members, we appreciate it. We want to hear from you. That's how we all get better, is continuing to collaborate and to keep our ears open. And that's what we want to do. And just want to reiterate again, if you're not a member, there's still definitely opportunity. We run, our season starts in August and we end in July, just like a lot of, the sanctioning bodies and everybody. So that's when our season starts. So there's still plenty of time to get in. You'll get full access to all of our membership benefits. There's still plenty of opportunities to qualify for national championships. And then you have a great option with the Open National as well. So this is my really corny shot of our website and homepage, and that's where you can go click to get started if you want to register. With that, I think we got a few questions, or if we don't, if anybody wants to throw in any questions into the chat, we are here to answer.
I'll just throw out there, I do have Katie Hazlitt on, who's part of my team, who's helping Alliance teams make sure their teams are properly set up, properly aligned with their Alliance ID and AGL ID. I have Lisa Scala on. She's one of our onboarding specialists for Alliance teams. She's there to help you make sure your team is properly trained, properly set up. They know how to use the product. Your parents know how to use the product. We have a lot of support folks that are here to help you. So take advantage of that for sure.
Ryan, anything that you want to throw out?
No, just I appreciate your guys' time tonight. I know going into the 2022 season and heading into the summer, it was important for us to get in front of you, and we just want to answer questions. So we'll try to do this probably once a quarter. I know we didn't do anything in the fall as we were kind of creating some new programs, but it's important to get the information out and answer your guys' questions. So whether you're contacting the Alliance or the HFL directly, we want to hear from you. We want your feedback. We want to make it better. So if you have suggestions where we can improve, you aren't going to hurt our feelings. Let us know. We truly want to push the sport forward and do the right thing for the athletes. So we appreciate your feedback and time.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you,
Yeah,
guys.
with that,
Thanks,
thank you,
Dave.
everybody. We appreciate you guys jumping on as panelists. Appreciate everybody that's joined us. If you want to get involved, if you have questions, please reach out. There's been a lot of just people trying to figure out, what is this? Is it another sanctioning body? Is this competition? And I'm the one fortunate person who gets to sit every week with all of these coaches who are working together. And I think that's been the most important thing, is everybody truly is working together in the Alliance from all 8 leagues. And I get to see it weekly on league calls, and literally everybody puts the athlete at the forefront, as well as the sport. So I'm really excited about the future, where we can go. To Ryan, Cornelius, appreciate what you guys do. I know you do a lot of work with your league and with the other leagues. So definitely appreciate what you all are doing. And we look forward to seeing everybody out there be a part of this. So please reach out, let us know how we can help. And we will see you soon.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks,
All right,
everybody.
thanks, guys.